Folks, what's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and we are back in Total War Warhammer 2, and today we received some news from CA. It's out on Twitter and Facebook. I'll try and put some links in the description. They posted kind of a teaser that there's new content coming, and it really looks to me to be very greenskin-esque, and just so happens I have a replay here with some Empire greenskin action, which should hopefully get us in the mood for some potential inbound greenskin content based on the hint we saw. Now, obviously, I could be wrong. Nothing is announced yet. So, but yeah, we got a fun battle here. This one's going to be Marcus Wulhart leading a force of Empire troops against the Greenskins. And in this case, it's going to be Wulhart. He's rocking his Hunter's Snare. And then we'll get the other abilities. He's got Amber Bow and then this Focus Shot as well. And remember, Focus Shot is scaled based on health. So Wulhart is going to be able to be effective at slowing down enemies with a net, basically, and then hurting key heroes or lords whenever they've already taken some damage. And then Amber Bow, of course, can just deliver some damage from long range against groups of enemies. Now, as for his support, he's got a Light Wizard with him today. Very cool unit, and it's the Light Wizard has his Power Stone, Faw's Protection, and the Net of Talk, which is a couple of good spells that don't use a ton of magic. Well, the Net uses more magic, but Faw's Protection doesn't, and it's pretty well worth it based on the Winds of Magic cost if you end up needing it. There's going to be 3 Unbreakable Infantry. I like this pick against the Greenskins because the Greenskins can plow through Empire State troops very, very quickly, and honestly, Great Swords don't match up well against big or Black Orcs either. So you do have to be careful, and this pick of unbreakable units through the center here makes it difficult for the Greenskins to get a quick victory in the infantry fight, and so I like it. It's Sigmar's Sons and the 2 Flagellants, and then as for cavalry, there's going to be the Royal Altdorf Griffites. I almost feel like this unit is a must versus the Greenskins. It causes terror. It's very good against a lot of their units. Very, very handy unit to have. The Greenskins do suffer quite a lot to terror. On each flank, there is a Spearman, just a standard Spearman unit, and in the back, very Wulhart themed here, we have several units of Huntsmen. Now, these are curious units against the Greenskins as well. It's an archer unit that can stand off with certain Greenskin archers, though that's not what they're best at. They come in kind of a natural loose formation, which is helpful to help them in as far as a missile exchange if they end up in one. But ideally, these are going to be good at taking out large targets, so this could mean enemy light cavalry, enemy cavalry, monsters, anything of that nature that could be brought to the battlefield. And of course, against monsters, Wulhart is a pretty solid pick because he himself packs a lot of missile damage. There's a Knights of the Blazing Sun here. This is a pretty nice pick against the Greenskins. There's nothing here that has weakness to fire damage other than trolls, but trolls aren't on the battlefield. Yeah, I know, a little bit of a spoiler alert there to the Greenskin army, but still a solid pick against the Greenskins because the Knights of the Everlasting Sun have a massive charge bonus and do well against cheap infantry. There's another spear in the back protecting the Hellstorm rocket battery, and this one is the Sunmaker. So tons of damage that can be dealt out from this in a very, very relatively short time period. Now let's take a look at the Greenskin army. This one's going to be led by a Goblin Great Shaman on a wolf, and he is actually stationed way out here to the right flank. So here's the Gobbo Great Shaman, and as for his spells, he's got Curse of the Bad Moon, the magic missile attack for the Greenskins, which I'm forgetting the name of at the moment, Vindictive Glare. Vindictive Glare is very long range and very cheap and pretty darn effective against lightly armored targets or heroes, and honestly decent against armor, I think, if you overcast it, though I could be wrong on that one. He's also got Curse of the Bad Moon, obviously Wa and Arcane Conduit on here as well to help pull in some more magic. But the Gobbo Great Shaman is going to be supported by 2 Night Goblin Shamans. Now, these are very interesting picks. Both of these, let's take a look at their equipment because it's going to be important. This one has the Wand of Jet, which can increase the power recharge. So this guy's obviously meant to help suck down more magic. And then this one here too, whenever they're casting, basically reduces the recharge rate for an enemy. So the Night Goblin Shamans are great at sucking the magic out of an enemy. And you can see that they've got Vindictive Glare and Itchy Nuisance, 2 relatively cheap and effective spells depending on the situation you need. And the other Night Goblin Shaman is equipped similarly. So 2 of these guys, basically there's some serious Lord sniping capability with this army. And the other cool thing about a Night Goblin Shaman is that they have the stalk trait, meaning you can't see them unless someone gets eyes on them. And it makes them very difficult to deal with. They can hide good. and they can cause a lot of damage throughout a battle if used properly for support. There is a couple of Night Goblin Squig Hoppers over here, and as we move through the infantry, there's going to be some Night Goblins. Now, just a reminder for folks, Night Goblins cause poison damage, and they have the spinning loons here, which is the fanatics, basically, that they release, and those can cause a lot of damage, too, depending on how the situation plays out. They've also got the expendable trait, which means that if they rout, it's not going to like scare all the rest of the troops. We got Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers here. This is a cool unit to use against the Empire. They're fast-moving. They have poison arrows and poison attacks. It's good at slowing down cavalry and being a nuisance to missile infantry and artillery. And then right here in the middle, we have the Rusty Heirs. And it looks like they took a shot from Wulhart right off the bat, because I paused it here. Rusty Heirs, always a good support for a greenskin army. And then there's going to be quite a few units of Nasty Skulkers. Now, Nasty Skulkers are a cool unit. They have Smoke Bomb, which can slow down other things around them. And then they have this special ability here, which is this Opportunist Murderer. If they're winning in melee combat, they get even more attack and armor-piercing damage, which can make them a lot deadlier in a situation if they get the right charge. There's some more Night Goblins here. This is one of the Regiment of Renown versions that is unbreakable. And again, more Night Goblins. So that's a lot of Night Goblins. They're going to be a pain for Empire State troops. More Spider Rider Archers. Here's the rest of the Skulkers. And then over here, there are more Night Goblin Archers and Squig Hoppers and Spider Rider Archers and Spider Riders. So really cool greenskin themed army here. Very Goblin-centric. And honestly, going to be pretty dangerous to the Empire. Now let's get the battle started. We're going to see Marcus falling back from the bow fire of the Goblins while firing himself. He gets a nice shot in here on the Rusty Heirs. Really did a good job. You can see he's already going to be sniped by Vindictive Glare. But look at this first battery. Oh my gosh. The Hellstorm Rocket Battery just deletes the Rusty Heirs on the opening salvo, like shatters them off the battlefield. The Sunmaker is so brutally effective in the right scenarios. Look at this here. The Spider Rider Archers being a nice nuisance to the Altdorf Griffites. And here, I like the way the Empire line is staggered. There's big gaps in it so they can cover more ground, but then those gaps are covered by heavy cavalry units, making the approach of the Greenskins not necessarily real easy. You can see here the Light Wizard was trying to interrupt a charge. He takes a Vindictive Glare to the face and then starts getting hit very hard by these Night Goblins. So all of a sudden, the Light Wizard is very early in trouble, in some pretty serious trouble. The Squig Hoppers are working to the left flank of the Empire. And look at this, the Goblin Great Shaman just on a beeline for Wulhart, wants to take him in melee. And this is an interesting choice, because I actually think Wulhart could probably hold out in melee against this guy. It puts him under fire from the Huntsman. He gets hit by the Hunter Snare, and both players making a mistake here with some key units early, as the Light Wizard gets thrashed in a battle against some Regiment of Renown Night Goblins. And then the Goblin Great Shaman takes a precision shot to the face and is routed early on. We'll see whether or not either of these units get to come back. But look at the pressure early on here. The Altdorf Griffites stopping the Squig Hoppers, who were rolling in the flank. You can see that the Sunmaker's already picked up 174 kills despite the short duration of the battle, though it is under some pretty serious threat. Here comes the Squig Hoppers getting through, and they will put an end to this unit, but not before it caused some pretty extreme damage. And that's really good for the Empire, because they are up against an overwhelming amount of infantry, and you can see that playing out right now. Despite the unbreakable infantry, they're getting hit hard. And the sniping attempts on Wulhart, which is funny because he's a sniper lord and he's being sniped by the Greenskins, the sniper attempts are very real. And the Spider Riders are a real problem right now too for the Empire. Look at this, very healthy unit of Huntsmen engaged by Spider Riders. Not an ideal situation for the Empire, but the Altdorf Griffites are here. This unit is already causing big trouble for the Greenskins. You see the terror routes here are very real. This Huntsman is likely to be saved by the Spearmen and the Griffites, and so a very gutsy Greenskin Goblin assault here is kind of pushed back, at least temporarily, by the combination of units here from the Empire, but the Empire taking quite a lot of damage in the process as well. See the power bar actually slightly against the Empire at the moment, and this fight is going to drag on for quite some time. Look, the sniping just doesn't stop. Vindictive Glare, one after another, and you can see why it's effective. It's got a very nice arc and a very long range. Wulhart is not a heavily armored target, and it makes him particularly vulnerable to this. See the regrouping greenskin infantry, some of which is kind of held back here, I think maybe on a micro mistake, but a lot of it charging forward and looking for more victims. See here a Nasty Skulker threading the needle quite nicely to come in here and pressure another Skulker. already headed in this way. But again, the Griffites are causing absolute havoc over here. This unit's going to need to be dealt with because the Greenskins are paying a dear price. But again, the power bar looking decent for the Greenskins as they are causing massive damage to Wulhart. And they were able to put the Light Wizard to bed very early in this match. And that took away a significant netting capability from the Empire that they pretty badly need. A little bit of a micro mistake back here at the moment with the Greenskins. They need to get these units up into combat now. But clearly, they're busy trying to take care of some units elsewhere on the battlefield, because you can see a few of their units got stopped temporarily. And that's allowing these huntsmen to get some key shots on these skulkers who could have been in here engaging the spearmen. But let's be honest, with these Griffites around, that engagement probably wouldn't have gone for too long anyway. And so things look kind of interesting right now. There's a lot of greenskin units left, including 2 Night Gobbo Shamans. And then the Lord for the Greenskins is still out here. He's keeping his distance. He doesn't want to die. That makes sense, but he also won't get to recharge the Wa if he's not in melee. So it's at this point that the Empire player gets pretty gutsy here with the Griffites, looking to put an end to this battle once and for all. He's going to charge out here, it looked initially like he was going to charge over here, but now going for a rear charge onto the Night Goblins, and he terrifies them immediately. Again, the value of the Altdorf Griffites in a greenskin matchup, but the sniping attempts don't stop. And look at this, the Great Shaman actually comes in and drops a Curse at a Bad Moon. I'm not sure this is a great use of magic. Curse of the Bad Moon is not that good, and it's a very expensive cost, but it does do a little damage here, and you can see, though, that the Greenskin Lord gets far away from that combat as soon as possible. Look at the precision shot there coming out against the Night Goblin Shaman, but the health wasn't too damaged, so didn't take it down a lot. Wulhart is actually getting out-sniped by the Greenskin casters. Over here, the Griffites got a little ahead of themselves. They got hit by a smoke bomb from one of the nasty skulkers, and now the leadership for the Greenskins is in here, but that's pretty risky because you've got this Gobbo Great Shaman, and he's actually going to get in here and get routed, of course, by the Griffites because he's terrified. But the Griffites get just almost irreparably damaged in this fight and continues to leave the Empire at actually a small disadvantage in what is honestly a pretty epic fight over here. You can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun on the other side of the battlefield. There's Spider Riders near here, though. It's going to be tricky. These units poison, and there's a little bit of bow fire coming in, so the Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to get a little bit of damage here. They're heavily armored, though, and that's going to be their real advantage in this fight late game against the Greenskins. The Greenskins have limited options. I think between the archers and the skulkers, it's kind of their best bet to try and get the cavalry. You can see that cavalry trying to retreat and get away from these Greenskin units, but the poisoning is having a very real effect. Night Goblin archers over here are pushing forward to engage some huntsmen, and this is going to be good for the Greenskins. Not a lot of ammo left on the Empire troops, and plus they're losing unit models, which is very dangerous for them. Wulhart has been forced back behind this hill to try and avoid the sniping attempts by the Greenskin leadership. You can see only now he's going to come poke his head up and try and do some good here. This has been a really fun battle, in my opinion, between these two players. A couple mistakes on both sides, but otherwise mostly a pretty solid fight here between two factions that both have advantages on each other. And honestly, both advantages kind of having been used here. Empire range been used to a pretty good advantage. Greenskin numbers and infantry been used to a pretty good advantage. And it leaves this in a pretty tight fight, which right now favors the Greenskins fairly heavily. Wulhart is in some pretty serious trouble. But he does manage to hunter snare this Night Gobbo Shaman, if only for a moment. Though he doesn't really have a lot of recourse against it at the moment. I don't think he has a special ability spun up for it. The Night Gobbo Shamans now double as pretty decent melee heroes to help out. But this Knights of the Blazing Sun hasn't gone down yet, and that's kind of a big problem for the Greenskins. Their Lord is out for the... or actually, he's not out. He's right here. He's just very, very badly damaged. And that's really helping the power bar quite a lot. You can see right here, Wulhart starts getting hit by several archer units in the Greenskins and was even wavering, but just kind of barely manages to get out of range. But look at this, more sniping coming in. So here comes some Vindictive Glare. This is dangerous for Wulhart. He takes kind of a glancing hit from that. He's down to under 500 hit points, but firing back at the Spider Rider archers as he goes. So a very tight fight here. Smoke bomb going off. It was meant to catch the cavalry, though it only hits the huntsman. So a near miss there for the Greenskins. And look at this, the Altdorf Griffites regrouped. And although small in numbers, this is a very dangerous situation for the Greenskins because this unit causes terror. It nearly routs before getting into combat, but nearly doesn't count there. It actually doesn't rout, and then the Knights of the Blazing Sun follow it up. Look at this. Terrified the Gobbo Great Shaman, terrified the archers, and actually spins the power bar back into favor of the Empire. So a clutch charge by 4 or 5 Griffites, potentially saving the battle here, because Wulhart routs in the background after having taken so much damage from the Night Goblins, and really that Griffite came back in here and clutched out, because that Skulker had the capability that the Greenskins needed in melee here. So this regrouped Griffite not being stopped by the Goblin Archers, and you can see here they're trying to regroup, but that won't last for long. And the Empire is going to snatch one here from the jaws of defeat against the Greenskins in an epic brawl. Hopefully this all gets you excited for what looks like some potential Greenskin updates coming in the game. We've been told the Greenskins are getting updates. The art they posted to me really looks like Greenskins. We will find out for sure whenever they do make an announcement. But yeah, this is exciting, and that's why I wanted to show this battle. I felt like it was good for today. Fits a theme that's relevant to the news. So let's take a look at the top units in this one. The Sunmaker, just absolutely smashing the Rusty Arrows early in this, was probably a clutch play as well. Because imagine those Rusty Arrows being there for more of the game. The Griffites and the Knights of the Blazing Sun would have suffered greatly to those 2 units. And so that was a big play, plus a lot of damage done to the infantry, which is obviously a big play too, because the Greenskins had huge infantry numbers advantage. And then you can see here, lots of kills made by the cavalry. That is not unexpected. The infantry here was meant more as like a slowing effect, but honestly did decent, all things considered. But you can see the Flagellants were just outmatched, and Sigmar's Sons really pulled in the most kills there. The Huntsmen did a good job of using all their ammunition remaining to late game. The Light Wizard, bit of a mistake early. That kind of thing happens. But I love the never give up attitude there that the Empire had. And honestly, same thing with the Greenskins. There was a mistake made early with the Gobbo Great Shaman, but didn't give up on it, kept fighting, and really honestly kind of had this one in the bag right up until that Griffite unit regrouped and ended up pushing their troops off the battlefield. They were doing a fantastic job. I loved the Lord sniping with the triple Goblin Shaman play here. This is really fun Gobbo army that was put together by Pavel. This was really cool. I loved it. Nice play. And as far as some of the key units, obviously a lot of his infantry causing a little damage spread over a long area. The Spider Rider Archers was just a cool play here with all the poison. The Squig Hoppers getting to the artillery was a cool play. And then again, the sniping, just really liked this one. Great battle between Consul of Rome and Pavel. Thank you to both players. Thanks to Consul of Rome for sending this one in. He said that it was a very close battle, and he wasn't kidding. Wasn't kidding at all. It was a very fun battle as well. I enjoyed that one. Hey, can't wait to see you all with some more content. If we do get any announcements, obviously I'll cover that. Since I'm working from home, it's easier for me to cover that. Yeah, if we get any announcements on new content, I'll take a look at it. I'll get a video up, talk to you all about it, and see what you think. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you soon with some more Warhammer 2 content.